The stars above the outer rim were silent that day. Silence, however, was not peace. It was the calm before the storm, a quiet that preceded fire and destruction. Captain Elena Harris stood on the bridge of the human starship Vigilant, her eyes scanning the distant viewports at the horizon of space. Beyond the thin glow of the colony's defense satellites, a dark shadow loomed, the Galactic Fleet. The alien armada was massive. Thousands of ships of varying shapes, each designed to intimidate and destroy, moved in coordinated patterns like a living organism. Elena had studied them for weeks. Every move, every formation, every strike pattern. Still, knowing their strength didn't lessen the fear. Not entirely. Her crew moved with precision. Lieutenant Mara, her second in command, adjusted the tactical screens. Captain, the outer perimeter shields are at 50%. Enemy frigates are already bypassing our drone barriers. Elena nodded, her mind calm despite the rising tension. Do not panic. Keep the satellites operational as long as you can. I want our civilians evacuated before we take heavy fire. Around them, the bridge hummed with controlled activity. Engineers monitored the shield output. Pilots adjusted defensive turrets, and communications officers relayed orders to scattered human outposts. Every member of the Vigilance crew knew the stakes. One wrong move and the colony could be wiped out entirely. A sudden jolt shook the ship. Sensors lit up in red alarms. The Galactic Fleet had fired. Plasma beams streaked across space, hitting the outer defenses. The colony's orbital station shuddered under the bombardment. Smoke and sparks erupted from damaged satellites. A single explosion threw debris outward, some pieces hurtling dangerously close to the human ships. Elena gritted her teeth. "Status?" she demanded. Lieutenant Mara's fingers flew across the control panel. "Shields holding at 30%, Captain." They've broken through the first ring of drones. They're targeting the colony next. Elena's jaw tightened. Divert all power to planetary shields. Prepare the civilians for evacuation. This colony is not lost yet. We will make them pay for every inch of space they take. The human fleet defending the colony was small, barely a fraction of the Galactic Fleet's might, but it had heart. Ships from nearby systems had answered the distress call, and while their weapons were lighter, their crews were determined. Many had families living on the colony. Every pilot, every engineer, every soldier had a personal reason to fight, and that reason often made humans unpredictable. The first wave of alien fighters swooped in. They were faster than human ships, their designs sharp and angular, optimized for speed and damage. Human drones launched in response, exploding in coordinated patterns. Laser beams collided in the void, creating sparkling bursts that briefly illuminated the darkness. Elena's voice cut through the tension. "Target their command frigate. We hit it now and we slow their advance." The crew executed the order flawlessly. Even with a smaller fleet, humans had mastered efficiency and precision. Their shots were calculated, their timing impeccable. The command frigate wobbled under the assault but didn't fall. Alien formations shifted, adjusting to the unexpected resistance. Minutes passed like hours. Outside, the stars were filled with fire and explosions. Debris floated, some glowing from the heat of plasma impacts. The colony's surface shook as orbital defenses attempted to hold off bombardment. Elena watched the chaos, her mind calculating, planning, thinking. Suddenly, a secure channel opened. The holographic screen in front of her flickered, revealing the face of Admiral Jonathan Vega, the commander of Earth's fleet. His expression was serious. "Captain Harris, the outer colonies are under threat. You are to hold as long as possible. Earth has initiated Operation Leviathan. Do not surrender under any circumstances." Elena's brow furrowed. "Operation Leviathan, sir?" Vega's eyes hardened. "You will see soon enough. Just survive until it arrives. The galaxy underestimates humanity every time. Let's make sure they regret it." The transmission ended, leaving a sense of mystery. Operation Leviathan had not been mentioned publicly. Most humans outside the inner systems had only heard legends of it. Some said Earth was building ships unlike anything in the galaxy. Others believed it was a bluff. Elena did not know, but she trusted Vega. Earth's leadership had never failed humanity before. As she turned back to the tactical display, Mara spoke quietly, almost in awe. "Captain, do you think it's real?" Elena's eyes were fixed on the incoming waves of alien fighters. "It has to be. Otherwise, humanity is lost, and we do not give up, not now. Not ever." The alien, sensing hesitation, pushed harder. Their next strike wave tore through the human outer defenses, cutting a path directly toward the colony. A series of explosions lit up the orbit. Civilians in escape pods began their frantic journey to safer zones. The humans on the colony moved like clockwork, following evacuation procedures they had drilled for months. Suddenly, a massive alien cruiser appeared, much larger than the others. It was armed with energy cannons capable of obliterating multiple human ships at once. It slowed, positioning itself like a predator preparing to strike. Its energy signature was unlike anything Elena had ever seen. "Captain, that's enormous," whispered one of the tactical officers. Elena gripped the console. "We focus fire. Everyone aim for the weak points. Don't let it break through. We may be outnumbered, but we are never outmatched in spirit." The human ships formed a tight defensive line, small frigates taking the lead, with the Vigilant in the center, coordinating their maneuvers. They launched every available missile and drone, concentrating on the alien cruiser's weapon systems. Sparks flew as lasers ricocheted off the alien armor. For a moment, the human fleet held firm, but the alien commander was relentless. Energy beams cut through the line, destroying smaller ships one by one. Smoke filled the cockpit of the Vigilant, alarms blaring. Elena's hands moved across the control panel, redirecting power to shields, issuing evasive orders, and calculating counterattacks simultaneously. Despite the destruction, human ships adapted quickly. They moved unpredictably, using strategies learned from generations of conflict. Drones formed dynamic shields protecting weaker vessels. Pilots coordinated attacks that even the advanced alien AI could not fully anticipate. Elena allowed herself a small thought. Humans had always found ways to survive, even in the darkest hours. She had seen colonies fall, lives lost, and yet humanity endured. That spirit, that tenacity was their greatest weapon. Then, sensors detected an anomaly in the outer rim, something massive, moving faster than anything they had ever measured. Mara's voice trembled with excitement. "Captain, it's approaching." From hyperspace, Elena's eyes narrowed. "Prepare for contact. Whatever this is, we hold the line until it reaches us. Humanity does not retreat." The alien fleet, unaware of what was coming, continued its attack with confidence. They assumed the humans were weak, broken, and ready to surrender. But they underestimated human ingenuity and resilience. Outside the colony, the void of space seemed to hold its breath. The humans were battered, outnumbered, and cornered, but not defeated. Somewhere beyond the sensors, a force unlike anything the galaxy had seen was arriving. Operation Leviathan was about to begin. As the alien cruiser fired another massive energy beam, a faint shimmer appeared on the horizon, growing brighter by the second. Elena stood tall, her hand hovering over the command panel, ready to face whatever came next. "Hold fast," she said to her crew. "This is our moment. Humanity always rises when the odds are against us." The shimmer grew into a massive, unmistakable shape, something the galactic fleet had never imagined. The first sign of Earth's secret force appeared, casting a shadow across the battlefield. The Dreadnoughts had arrived, and in that moment everything changed. Far from the chaos in the outer colonies deep in Earth's orbit, the planet itself gleamed like a jewel in the void. Orbital shipyards stretched across thousands of kilometers, massive structures bristling with machinery, docking bays and assembly lines. Here, hidden from alien spies and prying eyes, humanity's most incredible secret had been forged. Admiral Jonathan Vega walked along the command bridge of the orbital flagship Aurora, his expression steady but intense. Surrounding him were officers, engineers, and pilots, all working with quiet precision. Screens displayed schematics, troop movements, and sensor readings from across human-controlled space. Vega paused, looking at the newest addition to the fleet, the Dreadnoughts. Massive ships unlike any in known space floated in the shipyard, dwarfed only by the orbital stations themselves. Their hulls were sleek yet heavily armored, layered with multiple defense systems and bristling with weapons capable of leveling entire star systems. Every inch of them had been designed with a single goal: to bring humanity's full strength to bear against the galactic fleet. "Status report," Vega said, his voice calm but firm. Chief Engineer Lena Chen, a genius known for her work on advanced propulsion systems, stepped forward. "All Dreadnoughts are operational. Energy cores are stable at 98%. Shields are fully calibrated. Weapon systems have passed simulation tests with maximum efficiency." Vega nodded, Good, and the pilots? Commander Malik, in charge of the human squadron, spoke next. We've trained continuously. Every crew knows their roles. Drones, torpedo launches, defensive maneuvers, they've drilled until it's second nature. There will be no mistakes. Vega's eyes flicked to the holographic display showing the war-torn outer colonies. Reports streamed in from reconnaissance vessels. Colonies in chaos, civilians fleeing, and human defense fleets barely holding off the alien onslaught. Time is critical, Vega said. Every minute counts. The Galactic Fleet believes humanity is broken. They underestimate us, and that is their first mistake. The Dreadnoughts were more than just massive ships. They represented human ingenuity and determination. While alien vessels relied on raw numbers and brute force, humans had designed each ship for versatility, adaptability, and precision. Energy weapons could target multiple enemies simultaneously. Defense drones could form dynamic shields around vulnerable ships. Automated repair systems kept hulls functional even under heavy fire. As Vega walked past the bridge, he paused at a viewport overlooking the construction yards. Dozens of dreadnoughts, some larger than city blocks, glimmered in the sunlight reflecting off Earth's atmosphere. Their presence alone was intimidating. Pilots and engineers moved around them, preparing the ships for deployment. Each dreadnought represented not only technology but the spirit of every human who had lived, fought, and survived. Vega turned to Admiral Harris's incoming message. The Vigilant and other human ships were holding the line, but barely. Captain Elena Harris, he spoke, activating the secure channel. Your resilience has been noted. Dreadnoughts will arrive shortly. Do not lose hope. Humanity is coming. Elena's face appeared on the screen, streaked with smoke and sweat. Admiral, we are doing everything we can. But their numbers. We might not hold much longer. Vega's expression was firm. Then buy time. Every second matters. Our fleet will arrive, and when it does, the galaxy will see what humans are capable of. Hold your line, Captain. Operation Leviathan is in motion. He ended the transmission, and the crew on the bridge of Aurora felt a shift in energy. They had waited years for this moment. Humanity had endured countless attacks, threats, and invasions. Now the chance to show the galaxy their true strength had arrived. Meanwhile, in the lower levels of the orbital shipyard, engineers finalized the Dreadnought's final systems. Automated assembly lines polished the hulls, loaded energy cores, and deployed the first waves of defense drones. Lena Chen moved through the corridors, checking each system personally. We cannot afford failure, she said to her team. These ships must survive long enough to turn the tide. Every calculation, every weld, every circuit matters. Humanity is counting on us. Her assistant, young engineer Tariq, looked at the massive energy cores with awe. I've never seen anything like this. How did we even... Chen smiled faintly. Innovation is human nature, Tariq. When survival is on the line, humans create what others think is impossible. These dreadnoughts are proof. Never doubt it. As the dreadnoughts prepared, pilots suited up in their sleek cockpits. They ran final system checks, ensuring weapons, shields, and drones were synced perfectly. Commander Malik moved from pilot to pilot, speaking words of encouragement. Remember your training. Trust your ship. Trust your team. Humanity relies on you to be brave today. And I know you are. One pilot, Lieutenant Kara Reeves, tightened her gloves. I've seen the outer colonies. The civilians. We have to protect them. We cannot fail, Malik nodded. We will not. And soon, the aliens will realize they have underestimated humanity for the last time. Outside, in the dark expanse of space, alien scouts scanned the sector. They detected nothing unusual near Earth. For decades, spies had attempted to infiltrate human systems. Yet, despite their best efforts, Earth's true capabilities remained hidden. The Galactic Fleet had grown arrogant, assuming humans were weak, scattered, and vulnerable. That arrogance would soon become their greatest mistake. Vega watched the stars carefully. Navigation ready? He asked. Yes, Admiral, replied the chief navigator. All coordinates plotted. Jump points aligned. We can deploy the fleet immediately. Vega's lips tightened. Then do it. Humanity shows no fear. The dreadnoughts move at my command. The orbital shipyard began to hum with energy as massive dreadnought engines powered up. Light flared along the hulls as plasma conduits channeled energy to the jump drives. Crew members braced themselves, feeling vibrations from engines capable of propelling city-sized ships across light years in moments. "Everyone ready?" Vega asked one last time. Silence answered him. Focused, determined silence. Jump in 3, 2, 1. Now. The Dreadnought fleet leapt into hyperspace, disappearing from Earth's orbit in a brilliant streak of light. In the outer colonies, human defense fleets noticed a sudden energy spike on their sensors. For a moment, none of them understood. Then, far beyond the edge of their detection range, space seemed to shimmer as massive forms emerged from hyperspace. The first Dreadnought appeared, enormous and radiant, dwarfing the largest alien cruisers. Its weapon systems glowed with power. Automated drones began deploying around it, forming protective swarms. The alien fleets froze in disbelief. "Impossible," one alien commander whispered over his channel. "This cannot be. Humans do not possess such firepower." Elena, aboard the Vigilant, watched the approaching fleet on her sensors. Her eyes widened in awe. "It's real," she whispered. "It's real. Operation Leviathan." The first Dreadnought fired a warning shot, a beam of concentrated energy that obliterated an alien frigate instantly. The explosion rippled across space, shaking nearby vessels. Human pilots cheered, adrenaline surging through their veins. This was not a battle they were losing. This was a battle they were about to dominate. Vega, watching through the communication link with his forward fleet, allowed himself a small smile. "The galaxy will remember this day," he said quietly. "Humanity does not surrender. Humanity does not yield. And today we prove it." Elena turned to her crew. "Prepare to join them. Humanity has arrived. Let's show the galactic fleet that underestimating humans is a mistake they will never forget." Outside, the Dreadnoughts advanced, their silhouettes massive and terrifying against the stars. For decades, the aliens had thought humans weak, predictable, and scattered. Now those beliefs were being shattered, one Dreadnought at a time. The war for the outer colonies was about to change forever. Humanity's secret had been revealed, and the galactic fleet would soon learn that the human spirit, combined with unmatched ingenuity, was a force no galaxy could ignore. The part ends with the Dreadnought fleet moving in formation, engines blazing, ready to strike the first blow against the alien armada, a strike that would echo across the stars. The void of space was calm, almost eerily so, until the distant stars flickered with sudden energy signatures. Captain Elena Harris stood on the bridge of the Vigilant, staring at the tactical display in disbelief. Across the sectors, sensor readings were flooded with a massive energy surge. They're here," whispered Lieutenant Mara, her voice barely audible over the hum of alarms and engines. Elena's heart raced. She had fought countless battles, but nothing like this. Thousands of light years from Earth, human dreadnoughts, ships thought to be myths, were emerging from hyperspace. The first Dreadnought appeared like a wall of steel and energy, its hull reflecting the distant stars. Its size dwarfed even the largest alien capital ships. The galactic fleet froze in shock. Thousands of ships, arranged in perfect formations, now faced an enemy they had never imagined. Alien commanders barked orders, trying to coordinate attacks, but confusion spread quickly through their ranks. "Open communications," Elena ordered. "Let them see us. Let them know humanity is here." The fleet's holographic screens flickered as Earth's dreadnoughts transmitted a warning. "This is humanity. Withdraw or face complete destruction." The aliens hesitated. Their arrogance had made them bold, but now fear crept in. They had underestimated humans for decades, assuming Earth's defenses were minimal and scattered. Now their entire understanding of the human threat was collapsing. Elena's ship sensors picked up the first engagement. Smaller human frigates surged forward, coordinated perfectly with the dreadnoughts. Energy beams streaked across space, striking alien ships with precision. Explosions erupted, sending debris spinning into the void. The alien fleet responded with volleys of plasma fire, but their attacks were uncoordinated, easily countered by the combined human strategy. "Target the lead frigate," Elena commanded. "Concentrate fire on the cruiser at their front line." Lieutenant Mara maneuvered the Vigilant with skill born from years of training. Missiles launched, drones swarmed around the lead alien cruiser, and human pilots executed synchronized attacks that the aliens could not predict. For the first time in decades, humans had the advantage. While the galactic fleet relied on numbers and overwhelming force, humans relied on creativity, flexibility, and teamwork. Each strike was precise, each maneuver carefully planned yet adaptable. Even smaller ships played a role in the larger strategy, proving that size alone did not determine victory. The alien commanders realized the situation was worse than they thought. Their largest capital ship had taken multiple hits, shields flickering under concentrated human fire. Communication channels buzzed with frantic commands. Reinforce the front. Destroy the humans! But their reinforcements were too slow. Human drones, deployed from the Dreadnoughts, formed dynamic shields around key ships, blocking attacks before they could reach the hull. Automated repair systems began mending minor damages instantly, keeping ships operational despite heavy fire. Elena's voice was steady, even as explosions shook the Vigilant. Hold formation. Protect the colony. Focus on coordination, not panic. The first Dreadnought fired its main energy cannon, a concentrated beam that struck an alien cruiser directly in the power core. The explosion was immense, visible across kilometers of space. Alien ships nearby shook, their energy readings destabilized. It was the opening strike that humans had planned meticulously for months. Direct hit, Captain, Mara exclaimed, eyes wide. They're retreating! Elena smiled faintly but remained focused. Do not celebrate yet. The fleet is still massive. Keep attacking. Human ships advanced with precision, drones and frigates working together to dismantle alien formations. The Dreadnoughts fired systematically, each shot calculated to destroy maximum enemy capacity while minimizing risk to human vessels. For the aliens, it was chaos. They were used to dominating weaker foes, but humans had turned the tables completely. The alien flagship attempted a counterattack. Massive energy beams tore across space, targeting multiple Dreadnoughts. The force of the blast shook nearby human ships. Sensors screamed alarms as shields flickered dangerously. Divert power to rear shields, Elena shouted. All weapons target the flagship. We can bring it down! Missiles and laser volleys struck the alien flagship simultaneously. Explosions erupted across its hull, forcing it to slow, unable to maintain coordinated fire. Drones swarmed, striking weak points with precision, and the flagship wavered. For the first time, the mighty alien commander was on the defensive. Captain, they're trying to retreat, Mara reported. But their speed is compromised. We can finish them! Elena nodded. Pursue but maintain formation. Protect the smaller human ships. This is not just a strike. It's a lesson for the galaxy. As human forces advanced, they displayed what had always made humanity unique. Creativity in the face of danger. Smaller ships maneuvered unpredictably, drawing enemy fire while Dreadnoughts struck from angles the aliens could not anticipate. Automated drones flanked enemy formations, striking from unexpected directions. Even the human pilots' courage contributed. Some took risks that alien AI would never attempt. Across the battlefield, the destruction was staggering. Alien cruisers erupted in flames, ships spun out of control, and command networks failed under coordinated attacks. The Galactic fleet was massive but disorganized, its arrogance shattered by the human counterattack. On the Vigilant, Elena allowed herself a moment to breathe. Mara, humanity has finally arrived. They underestimated us for far too long. Mara nodded, her hands steady on the controls despite the chaos outside. It's incredible. All those legends. The Dreadnoughts. They're real. Elena turned her gaze to the distant colony. Smoke rose from damaged stations, but evacuation efforts continued smoothly. Civilians were being rescued by small human ships, guided by the tactical brilliance of the fleet. Humanity was fighting not just for survival, but to protect every life they could. In the alien fleet, confusion reigned. Commanders shouted orders that contradicted each other. Fear spread as ships were destroyed at rates they had never seen. The Galactic fleet had dominated the galaxy through numbers, but humans had proven that spirit, ingenuity, and courage could change everything. Captain, we've disabled their command frigate, reported a tactical officer. Their fleet is in disarray. Elena allowed a small smile. Good, but stay focused. Keep the pressure on. We cannot let them regroup. The Dreadnoughts fired another volley, their energy beams striking multiple alien ships at once. Explosions lit up the darkness of space. Smaller ships followed the Dreadnoughts' lead, coordinating attacks with deadly precision. The human fleet moved as one, a single, unstoppable force that the Galactic fleet could not match. Outside the battlefield, far from human sensors, alien reinforcements were being called. But the damage had been done. Word of the Dreadnought's sudden appearance and devastating power spread quickly. Fear replaced arrogance in the hearts of alien commanders. Elena turned to her crew. Today we show the galaxy that humanity is not weak. Today we show them what courage, ingenuity, and teamwork can do. Humanity has always survived, and now we will prove why we will continue to do so. The fleet pressed forward, closing in on the remaining alien forces. Ships that had once seemed invincible now struggled to maneuver. Dreadnoughts fired relentlessly. Human pilots exploited every weakness, and drones acted with perfect precision. The battle that had seemed hopeless only moments ago was now a turning point. For the first time, humans were not just defending, they were taking control. The galactic fleet, confident in its superiority, had been blindsided. The legends of human strength were real, and they were displayed in every shot, every maneuver, and every act of courage in the void of space. As the battle raged, Elena allowed herself one thought: humans had been underestimated for too long. Now they would never be underestimated again. The Dreadnoughts had arrived, and with them humanity's true power. The part ends with the Dreadnoughts advancing, alien ships in disarray, and human forces preparing to strike the decisive blow. The outer colony's fate would change forever, and the galactic fleet would learn that humans were a force unlike any other in the galaxy. The void of space was no longer silent. The hum of engines, the flashes of energy weapons, and the distant explosions filled the battlefield as the human fleet pressed its advantage. Captain Elena Harris of the Vigilant stood at the command console, her eyes scanning the tactical displays. The galactic fleet, once confident and ordered, was now fractured, their formations broken and disorganized. "Captain," Lieutenant Mara said, pointing to the sensors, "the alien flagship is trying to retreat, but our drones are blocking its path. Their smaller ships are scattered. If we act now, we can cut them off completely." Elena nodded. "Prepare a strike team. We move with the Dreadnoughts at the front. Every vessel follows our lead. This ends today, but we must do it carefully. Protect the civilians and the remaining colonies." The human fleet surged forward. The Dreadnoughts, enormous and intimidating, led the charge. Energy beams fired in precise sequences, disabling alien engines and cutting their weapon systems. Smaller human ships darted in and out of enemy lines, targeting weak points while avoiding concentrated fire. It was chaos for the galactic fleet, but order and purpose for humanity. In the midst of the battle, the alien fleet tried a desperate maneuver. A squadron of their fastest fighters attempted to flank the humans, hoping to strike from an angle they had not yet defended. But human pilots anticipated it. Lieutenant Kara Reeves, leading a small squadron, moved with perfect timing. Her ships weaved through enemy fire, intercepting the flanking fighters and forcing them into a trap set by drones from the Dreadnoughts. Direct hit on their lead fighter. Kara shouted over the comms, exhilaration in her voice. "They're breaking formation." Elena allowed herself a brief smile. "Good, everyone maintain pressure. Show them humanity does not yield under fire." Meanwhile, the alien flagship, struggling to retreat, found itself surrounded by human Dreadnoughts. Energy beams struck continuously, each hit calculated to avoid overloading the shields and wasting firepower. Human strategy had shifted from defense to calculated offense, striking fear into the heart of the enemy. Admiral Jonathan Vega, observing the battle from the orbital flagship Aurora, spoke to the entire fleet over secure channels. "Humanity has faced impossible odds before. Today is no different. Focus on coordination, not panic. Each of you is part of a plan that will echo across the galaxy. Move with purpose. Strike with precision. Protect your brothers and sisters. Humanity is stronger than anyone has imagined." His words energized every human vessel. Pilots maneuvered with renewed determination. Engineers optimized weapons and shields on the fly, and drones adjusted their formations to protect the vulnerable ships. Every element of the fleet worked in perfect synchronization. Elena's eyes flicked to the colony below. Smoke still rose from damaged stations, but evacuation efforts continued. Small human transports carried civilians to safety, guided by skilled pilots. Even in the chaos of battle, humanity never forgot what they were fighting for. Every life saved was a victory, every attack calculated to minimize civilian risk. The alien flagship, realizing escape was impossible, attempted a final attack. Its main cannons fired massive beams of energy, threatening to destroy the nearest Dreadnought. The blast collided with human shields, sending ripples across the battlefield. Sparks and debris scattered into the void. "Divert all remaining power to forward shields," Elena commanded. "Launch torpedoes and drones at their weapon systems. Disable them now. The human fleet responded instantly. Torpedoes streaked through space, striking key sections of the alien ship. Swarms of drones swarmed over its surface, targeting energy conduits and defensive systems. Explosions rocked the flagship and it shuddered under the relentless assault. For the first time, the alien commander's confidence faltered. In the midst of the chaos, a group of human pilots executed a daring maneuver. Using smaller ships to distract and draw fire, they guided their targets into a narrow corridor formed by the Dreadnought's positioning. Energy beams struck simultaneously from multiple angles, overwhelming the flagship's defenses. Sparks flew, hull plating ruptured, and the ship began to drift, powerless in the void. Elena watched the flagship falter, then issued the final command. Target the core systems, no mercy. Humanity does not wait for mercy. A coordinated strike from dreadnoughts and frigates disabled the alien ship completely. The flagship erupted in a brilliant explosion, scattering debris across kilometers of space. Alien ships around it wavered, confused and fearful. The tide of the battle shifted entirely. The galactic fleet, once confident and overwhelming, now struggled to regroup. Human dreadnoughts moved methodically, eliminating isolated enemy ships while protecting their own. Frigates and smaller vessels coordinated attacks with precision that no alien commander could predict. Elena's voice resonated across the Vigilant. This is our moment. Push forward. Protect the colony. Humanity stands together and we will not falter. Lieutenant Mara adjusted the shields and weapons. Captain, we've disrupted their command signals. Communication between their ships is failing. They can't coordinate. Elena's eyes sparkled with determination. Good, exploit it. Every isolated ship is vulnerable. Focus fire and advance. Across the battlefield, human ingenuity shone. Drones adapted to alien maneuvers instantly, forming protective barriers and coordinated attacks. Pilots used unexpected patterns and tactics learned from centuries of conflict, keeping the enemy guessing. Every strike and counterstrike demonstrated that human courage and intelligence could overcome even overwhelming odds. Amid the battle, a massive alien cruiser attempted a desperate ram at one of the dreadnoughts. Human pilots intercepted with precision, guiding the cruiser into a corridor of energy fire from multiple dreadnoughts. The cruiser exploded spectacularly, sending debris across the battlefield. The remaining alien ships faltered, their morale crumbling. Elena allowed herself a moment to breathe. We are turning the tide. The colonies will survive. Humanity will survive. Even as human forces pressed their advantage, caution remained. Every ship, every pilot, and every drone had a purpose. They fought with skill, but they also protected each other. Humanity had always balanced courage with strategy. Recklessness was not their way. Every maneuver was calculated, ensuring maximum effect with minimal loss. Admiral Vega spoke again, his voice carrying across the fleet. Humanity is showing the galaxy what we are capable of. Every victory here is a testament to our spirit. Fight with honor, fight with courage, and fight for every life we protect. The enemy will learn that humans are not just survivors. They are unstoppable when united. Outside, the dreadnoughts continued their methodical advance. Alien ships tried to flee, but human drones and frigates blocked escape routes. Energy beams fired in precise patterns, disabling engines and weapons. The galactic fleet, once the terror of the Outer Rim, was now on the defensive. Elena turned to her crew, pride and determination shining in her eyes. Hold the line. Protect each other. Humanity is rising, and the galaxy will see it today. The human fleet pressed forward, striking with coordinated precision. Alien forces crumbled under the relentless attack. Every destroyed ship and every defeated fighter demonstrated that courage, ingenuity, and unity were more powerful than sheer numbers. Finally, the alien fleet began a full retreat. Ships disengaged, moving as quickly as their damaged engines allowed. Panic spread among alien commanders. Their confidence had evaporated, replaced with fear and disbelief. The dreadnoughts and human fleet pursued only cautiously, ensuring they did not overextend, but the victory was clear. Elena looked at the battlefield. Smoke and debris floated in the void, but human ships remained operational, their formations intact. The colonies below were safe, civilians rescued, and the first step in humanity's reclamation of space was complete. Captain, Mara said quietly, we did it. The tide has turned. Elena nodded, her gaze still on the retreating alien fleet. Yes, but this is only the beginning. Humanity has shown the galaxy our strength. They will think twice before underestimating us again. As the fleet regrouped, dreadnoughts remained on the front lines, a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience. Across the battlefield, the aliens learned the most important lesson. Humanity was not weak, scattered, or predictable. They were strong, united, and fearless. The part ends with human forces advancing, the galactic fleet in retreat, and a new hope spreading across the outer colonies. Humanity had turned the tide, proving that courage, strategy, and unity could overcome even the most overwhelming odds. The war was far from over, but now the galaxy knew. Humans were not to be underestimated. The battlefield was quiet now, but the silence was not peace. Debris floated across space like broken stars, remnants of a war that had shaken the outer colonies. Captain Elena Harris of the Vigilant watched the horizon, her eyes scanning for any remaining threats. The galactic fleet had been pushed back, their forces fractured and demoralized, but humanity's work was not yet done. Lieutenant Mara stood beside her, analyzing sensor readings. "Captain, most of their ships have retreated. Only scattered units remain, but they are damaged and disorganized. The colonies are safe for now." Elena allowed herself a moment of relief. "For now," she said softly. "Humanity's presence here has changed everything. The galactic fleet thought they could strike and dominate. They thought we were weak, scattered, and afraid. They were wrong." Across the outer colonies, human engineers and pilots worked tirelessly. The evacuation of civilians had been completed successfully, and damaged stations were being stabilized. Smaller transport ships ferried supplies and reinforcements. Every human vessel played a part. Every life protected, a testament to the strength and ingenuity of humanity. Admiral Jonathan Vega, observing from the orbital flagship Aurora, addressed the fleet over secure communications. "Today, humanity has proven that we do not bow to fear. We do not surrender. Every pilot, every engineer, every soldier who fought has shown what it means to be human. The galactic fleet underestimated us. Let this day be remembered across the stars." Back on the Vigilant, Elena's crew listened, pride swelling in their hearts. "Admiral Vega is right," Elena said. "This is more than a battle won. This is a statement. Humanity stands united, and no enemy can shake that." In space, the remnants of the galactic fleet fled, retreating to regroup. Their commanders, once arrogant and overconfident, now faced the reality of human resolve. They had never encountered a species that could combine courage, creativity, and coordination so effectively. Every defeat, every destroyed ship was a lesson written in fire across the void. Elena turned her attention to the dreadnoughts, which still held position near the colonies. Their massive forms reflected the starlight, a symbol of human ingenuity and determination. These ships had changed the course of the battle, but more importantly, they had shown the galaxy that humanity was not to be underestimated. "Captain," Lieutenant Mara said, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Our scouts report that some alien ships are attempting to regroup. They're scared, but they're still moving. Should we engage?" Elena thought for a moment. Humanity's goal was not simply destruction. It was survival and protection of the colonies. "No, we will hold our positions. Let them retreat. They need to learn that the galaxy is not theirs to dominate without consequence. We have won today not just with firepower, but with strategy, courage, and humanity." As human fleets stabilized the colonies, word spread among the survivors. Messages of hope, courage, and resilience reached every corner of the outer systems. Colonists who had feared annihilation now looked to the sky with gratitude and pride. Humanity had arrived, not just as a species to survive, but as a force capable of standing against any threat. Captain Elena Harris walked to the observation deck of the Vigilant, gazing at the distant stars. She thought of every pilot, every engineer, every soldier who had fought with her. They had faced overwhelming odds and emerged victorious. She thought of the dreadnoughts, the secret of Earth that had turned the tide, and she thought of the future, one in which humans would never be underestimated again. Lieutenant Mara joined her, eyes reflecting the glow of distant stars. "Captain, it's incredible. All those years of preparation, all the secret ships. Humanity finally showed its true strength." Elena smiled faintly. "It's more than strength, Mara. It's spirit, ingenuity, courage. The galactic fleet thought numbers and technology alone would win the day. They forgot that humans fight for each other, for life, for hope. That makes all the difference." Across the colonies, repair crews worked tirelessly. Stations damaged by the initial assault were stabilized, energy shields reinforced, and communication systems restored. Civilians returned to their homes greeted by the fleet and the drones that had protected them. Every effort was a reminder that humanity's purpose was not just to survive, but to thrive. Meanwhile, the Dreadnought fleet held the outer rim in a protective formation. Their presence alone discouraged further alien attacks. The Galactic fleet, having learned the hard way, would think twice before venturing near human-controlled space again. Humanity had not only defended its colonies but had sent a clear message. The galaxy was now aware of what humans could achieve. Admiral Vega communicated with Captain Harris one final time during the battle's aftermath. "Elena, your leadership has been exemplary. Humanity owes you and your crew a great debt. The Dreadnoughts were only part of the equation. Your courage, your strategy, your refusal to surrender, these are what truly made the difference." Elena nodded humbly. "Thank you, Admiral. But it wasn't just me. Every human who fought, every pilot, every engineer, every civilian who followed orders and stayed courageous, this victory belongs to all of us." In space, the remaining alien forces retreated toward the uncharted regions of the galaxy. Their commanders had been humbled, their arrogance shattered. They would return, but the memory of this battle would remain, a warning to anyone who dared underestimate humans again. On the Vigilant, the crew celebrated quietly, not with loud cheering, but with a sense of accomplishment and pride. Humanity had faced the impossible and prevailed. Every life saved, every enemy ship destroyed, every colony protected was proof that the human spirit was unmatched. Captain Elena Harris stood at the bridge, looking at the stars. "Humanity has survived countless threats," she said softly. "We have faced challenges that seemed insurmountable. Today we have proven that when humans unite, there is nothing we cannot overcome. Not even the mightiest fleets in the galaxy." Lieutenant Mara smiled. "Do you think they'll ever underestimate us again?" Elena shook her head, a faint smile playing across her lips. "No, they will remember. Every species, every commander who dares challenge humanity will remember. Today we showed that humans are clever, brave, and relentless, and we always rise when the odds are against us." In the colonies below, children gazed at the night sky, unaware of the full scale of the battle that had just occurred. They saw lights and ships, but more importantly, they saw hope. Humanity had survived, and they had fought not only to defend their homes, but to ensure a future where courage and ingenuity would always be honored. As the Dreadnoughts began to return to Earth's orbit for resupply and repair, the fleet maintained a protective perimeter. Humanity had proven that it could not be broken, could not be underestimated, and would continue to rise against any threat. The Galactic fleet had learned a lesson that would echo across the stars for generations. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. Captain Elena Harris allowed herself a final glance at the galaxy around her. The stars had always been a mystery, a challenge, and now a testament to human courage. Humanity had faced the impossible, and through bravery, ingenuity, and unity, they had prevailed. The outer colonies were safe, the human fleet stood victorious, and the galaxy had been reminded of one undeniable truth. Humans, when united, were unstoppable, and in that moment, the universe itself seemed to acknowledge it. Humanity had not only survived, they had triumphed.